Hey everyone, welcome back to the FastAPI full series course. This is the second video of this series, and in this video we are going to see how we can install FastAPI in our own system. So we are going to do the whole setup of our project. We are going to install FastAPI. We are going to create virtual environment first, and in that we are going to do the installation. So this is like a project setup. Later on we are going to do the coding. For now we are going to do the setup. Now if you just want to focus on the installation part, you can refer to the end part of this video. For now, I want to tell you about some important things which you should know as a developer once you are installing FastAPI. There are certain dependencies about which you should know. You should have a basic idea about this. See, the first thing is, since FastAPI is a Python based framework, you should have Python already installed. How can we check this? Using this command. So let's run this command in the terminal, python version. Hit enter, and my Python version is Python 3.13.0. Even if your Python version is 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 3.10, it should be good, but I would recommend that you keep the latest version of Python. Now let us understand about a fact that FastAPI is a module or a library, right? And it depends upon two other libraries of Python, that is Pydantic and Starlette. Pydantic is used for data modeling and data validation, and Starlette is used as a lightweight ASGI framework. Basically, ASGI stands for Asynchronous Server Gateway Interface, and it is the ideal library, or it is a very good library for building asynchronous web services in Python. So FastAPI depends upon these two frameworks or these two libraries. So if you want to install FastAPI, these two libraries are also going to be installed. Now there are some other standard but optional, understand about this, standard but again optional dependencies which we should also install. So when we are installing FastAPI, we have Pydantic and Starlette both, right? Pydantic, Starlette and FastAPI, all these three different libraries have their own standard but again optional dependencies. Pydantic has a dependency on email validator for validating emails, right? So Pydantic is a data validation and data modeling library. So to validate emails, we need this module, but again it is optional. For Starlette, we have HTTPX, Jinja 2 and Python multipart. HTTPX is used for a API client, Jinja 2 is used as a template configuration engine, and Python multipart is used to parse any HTML form data. If you want these features, then these standard libraries should also be installed. For FastAPI itself, we have two other dependencies on standard, but again optional dependencies we have on some other libraries, and those are Uvicorn and FastAPI CLI and FastAPI Cloud CLI. Uvicorn is like the server which is going to run your FastAPI application. This is the server that can load and serve your FastAPI application. We have FastAPI CLI to perform any FastAPI commands over the terminal, over the command line interface or CLI. And we have FastAPI Cloud CLI. If you want to perform any command line terminal commands on the FastAPI Cloud, then you can use this particular library or module. Now these particular modules, they are just standard modules, but they are kept as optional. You can install it or you can skip installing it. But we are going to install all the modules. Now we do not need to do it one by one. To install FastAPI, we have two different commands. Pip install FastAPI, or we can say pip install FastAPI, then in the square braces we can say standard. When you are using the first command, it is only going to install FastAPI and its direct dependencies, which are Pydantic and Starlette. But when you want to install the standard libraries as well, then in this case you can run the second command, which is pip install FastAPI standard. This is going to install FastAPI, its direct dependencies, those are Pydantic and Starlette, and the standard dependencies of Pydantic, Starlette and FastAPI. So we are actually going to use the second command because later on we are definitely going to use these standard modules or standard dependencies as well. So we are going to do all our setup in this video only. Now let us start the installation part and the setup part. Now the first thing is, I want you guys to open any code editor, but I would want that you open VS Code or Cursor or any standard code editor. The best would be VS Code because that way you will be able to follow along with me, because I am using VS Code as well. But it is again optional. You can use any other code editor as well if you are familiar with other code editors. Now come to your terminal. Right now I am at my terminal, and in your terminal, first of all, we are going to create a Python virtual environment. And we are going to create this environment specific to our FastAPI code, which we are going to create during this course. I have created a folder FastAPI-projects, and I have shared this folder as a GitHub link. So you can find that GitHub link in the description. And for this course, all the notes, all the code which we are going to do, you can find that in the GitHub link. I will be updating the GitHub link as we are going to do the coding part. Now let us create the Python virtual environment. For that, we have to go to the terminal and point to the folder where we are going to create our projects. So right now my terminal is pointing to the FastAPI projects folder. Now let us create the virtual environment. For that we have to say python hyphen m venv then env. This is our virtual environment name and this is the command python hyphen m venv to create the virtual environment. Hit enter, wait for some time, it is going to create a virtual environment. You can see that we have this environment folder created. Now let us activate this virtual environment for this particular terminal. For that we can say source space env slash bin slash activate. Hit enter, wait for some time, and this is going to activate your virtual environment. But guys, this command is going to activate the virtual environment for Linux or a Mac. If you are a Windows user, you have to run this command. You have to directly write env backslash scripts backslash activate. You will hit enter and the environment will be activated. Now once the environment is activated, we have to install FastAPI. For that we have to run this command pip install FastAPI standard. Now to run this command, we actually have to enclose the FastAPI standard within quotes. So this should be within quotes. Now the command should be pip install then within quotes FastAPI standard, then close the quotes, hit enter, wait for some time. It is going to do the installation. Depending upon your internet connection, it is going to download the libraries, do the installation, and you will see that a lot of different libraries are getting installed. Once the installation will be done without any error, you will have FastAPI installed. Now I can clear the console and we can say that we have FastAPI installed successfully. In the next video of this series, we are going to see an example of how to create a program and how to verify that FastAPI is installed. I will see you guys in the next video. If you are new to the channel and you have not subscribed yet, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. I want to see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this one.